So, we talk a lot about investing and why it's crucial for building wealth, for beating inflation, for securing our future. And yes, I think we all get the concept of investing, but from time to time, I still get questions about where do I even start from? How do I invest? Where do I put my money? And these are completely fair questions because I think that, investing in itself can be a bit intimidating for beginners. So in this video, I am going to be showing you step-by-step guide on how you can start your investing journey. I will also be showing you a walkthrough of the platform that I personally use to invest. But I have to put this disclaimer out there. This is not financial advice. I am only sharing with you what I've learned on my journey, what I know. And yes, if you need financial advice, please feel free to speak to a financial advisor. So the very first step that you need to take if you are thinking about investing in stocks and shares is that you need to find a brokerage account. Think about it as a type of bank that allows you to buy stocks and shares. Essentially, that is what it is. So you need a platform that's going to allow you to do this. And depending on where you are geographically, you would have access to different apps, but it's up to you to, do your research and select the right brokerage app that is right for you. For example, if you're in the UK, you can choose platforms like the Agris Lansdowne. And this is a very established platform with a wide range of investments that you can also do on the platforms. Things you want to check when you're looking at brokerage apps is that you want to also check for the fees. Trading 212 is another app that I think personally is a bit more user-friendly and is the one that I use, and I'll be showing you much later in this video. If you are based in Nigeria, for example, there's an app called RiceVest, and basically allows you to even invest in dollar-dominated assets globally, whether it's stocks and shares or even things like REITs. You'll be able to invest on that platform. Trove is another popular platform in Nigeria as well that offers access to US and Nigerian stocks and ETFs. Chaka is another platform that also provides access to global and local markets, as well as Bamboo, which is also, quite similar to, Trove, and you can get offers on US stocks and ETFs on these platforms. Some of the things that you probably also be looking out for, when you're selecting these apps are some of the maybe issues that maybe some of them might have had with regulation in the past. So you just want to make sure that you're doing your research and you're selecting the right option for you. If you're in Canada, Questrade, Wealthsimple Trade, and maybe some of your existing banks like TD Bank can be an option for you. For people in the US, Fidelity, Vanguard, Robinhood, M1 Finance are options that you can actually explore. Some of them are good for beginners. Some of them are just more user-friendly. It just basically depends on what you're looking for in terms of, fees, ease of use, the type of investment that you're looking for, tax efficiency options that may be available. These are the things that I would consider if I was selecting a brokerage app. So once you've selected the app you want to use, you want to download the app on your phone, and most apps will take you through like the standard KYC journey of asking you for certain details about yourself, your income, and also getting things like your ID, maybe your utility bill, taking your picture. So standard bank account opening process is what you're going to go through. Once you're in and your account is properly opened, within the brokerage app in itself, there could be multiple accounts that you can use to invest, and you need to understand what each one does so that you're selecting the right one for you. Some of them have, tax relief options where, if you invest using those specific accounts, you will not pay any form of, tax on whatever you gain from your investments, versus other ones that you can invest in those accounts as well, even in the same sort of like stocks and shares. But anything that you gain on your investment will be subject to tax. Some of them might have things like restrictions around the maximum amount you can put into that account in a tax year, and some of them might not. So understanding what each account means and what you can do with each account would help you make the right selection. Now, the next thing you want to do once you know the accounts you want to invest in is either you're doing research on the stocks and the shares you want to invest in, or you are maybe going with what you already know that you want to invest in. And easily, if you're a beginner, trying to research an individual stock might be maybe a bit more challenging or intimidating for you. And maybe you want to go for a more safer option where you'll probably be picking like, an ETF, which is just a basket of stocks and shares basically. So think about it that, okay, instead of, buying one rose, you're buying a bouquet of flowers, so to speak. And maybe that is your choice of investing. Once you are able to determine exactly what you want to invest in, select it, fund your account and buy that, stocks. And that's exactly what you need to do to make it more convenient for you if you're not investing like a lump sum upfront and you want to do it on a monthly basis. Then the next thing you want to try to do is automate the process for you. A lot of these apps will have the options where you can either link a bank card, your Apple Pay, or your bank account where they can directly, invest your money for you on a monthly basis. And it's as simple as that. It's nothing complex. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to be showing you the app that I use, which is Trading 212, and how I invest using that app. So let's get into the Trading 212 app. I'm using the desktop version here. You can always download it on your phone from your Apple Store or your Google Play Store. So the first thing you need to do once you've downloaded the app is you need to register. Now, when you are registering on Trading 212, it's going to require you to select one of 4 accounts. Now, the one you want to focus on is the Stocks ISA account. That is where you can buy stocks and shares. Now, you can also buy in the invest account, but I wouldn't recommend that you do this because anything that you gain in the invest account is taxable, whereas anything that you gain from your investment in the Stocks ISA is not taxable. However, you do have a maximum of £20,000 that you can invest in this account in a tax year. Your cash ISA, you can buy stocks in this account, but you also have a tax-free gain on anything that you invest in this account. CFD stands for contract for difference, but I wouldn't recommend you do this unless you day trade. Once you've opened your account with its Stocks ISA on Trading 212, the next thing you want to do is either you want to fund your account to start to buy, or you want to select what you want to buy and then fund the account afterwards. So you can either use this plus sign to add more money to your stocks account, or you can go ahead and just try to create a new pie. Now, when you're trying to create a pie, essentially you are trying to combine a couple of stocks and shares or ETFs into a single pie. So for example, let's say I want to buy a combination of ETFs and some individual stocks. I can come here because I'm creating a custom pie. I will be the one selecting what I want. I could go through some existing pies that have been created on the platform, or I could also go through the social tab to copy what other people are investing in. But if you want to do a custom pie, you need to add your own instruments in there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do a custom pie here. So I want to buy the S&P 500, which is an ETF. And Once I type that in, I will see different options that I can invest in. Now, I usually would go with the Vanguard S&P 500 if I wanted to do this. Now, you can see Vanguard S&P 500 accumulation and distribution here. Now, you can buy either or. They're the same. The only difference is that any dividend that you gain is going to be reinvested for you if you select the accumulation option, or paid to you directly if you select the distribution option. So I'm going to pick the accumulation option and then add to my pie. I'm also going to add a bit more items to my pie. So let's say I want the FTSE All World in my pie as well. I can see one here, and I'm going to add that to my pie as well. So let's now say that I want to buy a few individual stocks like Google and Apple. So I can see Google here, and I can select this, add it to my pie, and also go and look for Apple as well. Okay, so now that I have all of this added to my pie, I can then see, okay, I have all of them automatically set to be 25% each of the pie, which means that if I invested £100 here, £25 will go to each of these items that I've selected. Now, if I favor one instrument more than the other, I can adjust this. So let's say, for example, I want 50% of my investments to be in the FTSE All World. You can also see that this is not balanced now. It is 125%. I can then adjust and say, okay, maybe I want 15% of Google, and then maybe another 15% of Apple. And I also want to reduce my S&P 500 to £19. So you can see the distribution of all of this now. So if I'm fine with this, I can then click next. Now you can choose to auto invest, which is what I would always recommend, or you can manually invest. So you can also pick what you want your initial deposit to be. This is showing £1,000 and what you want to contribute on a monthly basis. So let's say I want to start with £500. And I want to contribute £100 on a monthly basis every 28th of the month is what I would like, right, to invest in this. This will also show you over a period of time how much you would have contributed and what you would have in your investment. So this is showing that after 5 years, I would have contributed £6,000 plus, and I would have about £10,000 in my portfolio, right? If I'm fine with this, all I have to do is click next, and I can name this. So let me name this Talk with Jadesala. And this is already showing me what I would have invested as a summary. So the next thing I need to do is fund the pie. So this could be that I'm using a card, I'm using my Apple Pay, Google Pay, or I'm using funds that I've already added to my account. So I can select anyone. For the purpose of this, I'm not going to add anything. So once you've created your pie, you funded it, you'll be able to see an overview of what that looks like when you log into your app going forward. You'll also be able to see your ISA allowance. You'll be able to see your total return and rate of return every single time on that particular pie. And you can have multiple pies on your account. If you want to delve deeper into maybe some of the holdings that you can have a breakdown of what this pie looks like. You can always edit it. For example, if you want to change your mind that you don't want 50% to be FTSE All World, you can come and change this, and that will automatically get your pie adjusted. So, but you need to make sure that it's balanced every time you make this change. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it up to 100%. So now I can confirm this and change my allocation. If you also want to see like the individual companies that you're invested in, for example, in the ETFs. So these two Vanguard ones are ETFs. For example, if I pick the S&P 500, we've always heard about it that these are the top 500 companies in the US. You can see in the fund allocation, if I click see all, you can see how your S&P 500 investment is going to be distributed. It's 7% in Microsoft, 7% in Nvidia, and all of that. So these are like top 500 companies in the US. You can see a further breakdown in terms of even things like sectors, right? The S&P 500 is 33%, technology, 14% financial. So this gives you an idea of what you're investing in. You can also see the top countries. It's 99.99% the US and just 0.01% other countries. So it is as simple as that. It's not complicated. All you have to do is open the account, select what you want to buy, and fund the account. That's it. That's simple. So congratulations, you are officially an investor, and you might look like a small step, but this is a step in the right direction in terms of you trying to build your wealth. But remember that investing is not a get rich quick scheme. It takes time, and there could also be, fluctuations in the market. All you have to do is try to stay calm and, be patient, because, it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. And hopefully, compound interest is going to help you to grow your money and make your money work better for you. So if this video has been helpful, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Bye.